Gentlemen, we had a slightly longer break than anticipated. The Starladder stream for the Russian viewers was having some issues, so we got a little break to sit back, relax, recollect ourselves. LD got a little flushed, a little hyped at the end of that last game.
A little.
A little, maybe a lot of hype.
Hype.
Woo, yeah. It was appropriate hype.
That
was
the worst hype I've ever heard.
That was a pretty epic finish.
I don't want to blow people's ears out.
You've got some audio compression on that
I'm
mic.
concerned for people.
You know what, Commissioner? You can get as loud as you want.
Woo! I'm excited.
That's Ben Wu getting excited right there.
These people don't know the meaning of the word hype.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
tell ya.
So, game one, Team Liquid, they take the win. After about 65 minutes of gameplay, pretty epic, back and forth. Now, Team Dog, I think it's safe to say they didn't play quite up to snuff. That Pycat Naga Siren. They still almost won. It was a close game. It was a good game, but Pycat's Naga Siren was a little disappointing. Mismicroing the illusions a little bit, a very delayed radiance. And like you were mentioning, Commissioner, it was a little bit... Their strategy seemed to be kind of, they didn't know what they wanted to do. When you pick a Naga, it should be more about that 4 Protect 1, get that Radiance as quickly as possible, but then they brought Naga to these team fights, they were defending Tier 1 towers with Song of the Siren, sort of two different strategies that don't really mesh.
Yeah, Potom was the one off farming. I think they could have just like swapped the roles. Like she should be fighting more, Naga needed to farm. But what do they need to do differently?
I think the draft was fine, I think. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it was more just decision making. And
do you think they should have picked Lycan instead of Naga? They had the option.
Since they banned out the tree, I want to say yes. Like you were pointing out, it's weird to second ban tree when you have first pick, and then just pick Naga and give the other team the Lycan. Tree has been the counter to Lycan.
They should either ban or pick Lycan.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't want to run it, fine, but there's no reason to give that hero away. Like, what would Liquid have done if Lycan got banned? Pick Tree? I mean, Tree's not scary against Naga at all. So no, I'm rooted. I'm taking no damage at all, and I can just mirror image out of it anyway, or Manta out of it.
Yeah.
Or sleep and turn things around, or do anything.
I mean, if they don't want to run Lycan, I think it's okay though. But my hero's good.
Yep. So we'll have Game 2 starting here in just a moment, folks. Now, if Team Dog want to make it to the finals, they're going to have to win the next 2 in a row. Liquid, they're actually 1 game away from making it to the grand finals where they'll face EG. To reiterate once again, EG only needs to win 1 game in that final best of 3. That's the winner's bracket advantage. So we're ready to hop into the brackets and take it away, boys.
All right, Liquid versus Dog, game number 2. This time around, Liquid have the first overall pick. Dog will ban the Ember and the Lycan. Liquid ban out the Naga. Sure, they beat it, but they don't want to have to deal with it. And Dog go right back to this early Mirana pick, something they've been preferring. Just no matter what, it seems like they liked having the Mirana for Small Go League. It is a pretty versatile hero. They also go for what should be the Fogged Bane. Probably it's been his go-to support, I'd say, on this team.
They missed a fair amount of AA ultimates in the early game. Last game, AA was also 3rd pick last game. Team Liquid will pick him up very, very early.
What do you think they have in mind here? First overall pick AA. It's not something you just casually throw out. One thing that it can set up for is a Morphling pick, because AA completely counters that hero, but, I mean, I don't see Liquid running Morphling, so...
I don't know. I think AA is pretty flexible. You can go aggro try, you can go defensive try, you can go like a defensive, you know, if you want to push into us, you have to deal with AA sort of strat. I've seen like a lot of magic damage strat with Icy Vortex even. They can go like AA and Weaver, etc. I would prefer to Batrider first pick myself. I think Batrider is much better than AA. Not much better, but slightly better, and Liquid has a really good Batrider player.
Guys, if you're just joining us, Liquid, in fact, do have the 1-0 lead after a truly epic game number 1. We were talking a little bit about it during the pregame here, but the VOD is uploading to YouTube now. It's already available on Twitch if you go to the highlights section, so definitely worth the watch. But, well, with that being said, we'll focus now on Game 2. Batrider, the choice from Liquid. A hero who was just mysteriously ignored last game. I do like Bat Ancient Apparitions. The combo of these 2 heroes is really strong. You just lasso someone, and right as you're about to go in, you shoot out the Ancient Apparition ult, and it's just an easy kill. Maybe you need the +1 for a tankier hero, but just a very reliable, low cooldown ganking combo.
I don't really think Team Dog is like a 4 Protect 1 kind of team. Like I'm surprised that they went for that sort of strategy for it, and you could tell that they weren't like that well versed in it. But I see them more as like a early aggression and supports making plays sort of things, like when they had the same
kind of like Sigma going into the Starladder Season 8 at the LAN finals, where like they would just look to like win the lanes, control the game from there, and snowball a bit.
Right. It's not like Pycat's not the scariest farmer in the world. I mean, he's scary, but not like super scary. So if they give him space, it's like, whatever. he'll do his thing, and he didn't really have as much of an impact as I expected him to, or I think Team Dog expected him to last game. So looks like Bane, Mirana, Puck, very, very aggressive heroes, good early mid. I like this draft much more than Dog's last game.
And I think the hexagons are on the money here. Max gank. They definitely have the gank.
You gotta kill people.
Yeah, a pretty good team fight as well. A little bit single target heavy outside the puck, but they've got 2 more picks to shore that up, and they'll need 1 more support. Then they'll need the carry. What are we gonna see coming out for Misery this game? What do you think he'll play?
Misery?
Yeah.
I have no idea. They might go back to sinking. They ran SK Bottom before, so they can just do like Bane +1, Puck mid, and MSS's Puck is decent, and then Mirana sinking. I would think that's pretty good.
Sorry, I think I meant MSS.
MSS?
Yeah.
MSS probably Puck. His Puck's so-so. Pycat, I don't know what Pycat's gonna play. What carry is he gonna play?
Radiant team pick.
It won't be Naga. It can't
So
be
I guess with the Puck, we're likely to see MSS go mid and Pycat back in the safe lane.
Yes.
It'll be an off-lane Bat Rider here. Any heroes that jump out at you that are particularly good against Bat?
I think Spectre's okay. It's decent counter initiate.
Can chase him pretty effectively, I guess.
Can chase him pretty effectively. And they've run it a decent amount before, and it's like a heavy carry that can fight a lot early. I think that Pycat kind of wanted to do that last game, but he just had to devote a lot of resources. Like, he always had to like walk around the map. He couldn't stack camps. He couldn't farm. Like, Spectre can farm and fight at the same time, which is why I think it suits Team Dog a lot more.
Tinkerbam. That's some respect for Koikfa.
Tinker's super annoying.
I mean, and what we saw, like Boots of Travel shenanigans, now they've got the perfect hero to execute them with. So, good synergy with Ancient Apparition and Bat Rider as well. That's a very versatile and mobile trio in terms of their damage output.
They could be scared of Storm, but at least they have the Puck and the Bane. Both pretty good heroes to deal with them.
Tree gets banned, and Dog will say, we'll go Chen. So, they'll look to push a bit early on. This will be their second support hero, and still looking for the hard carry. They could look to run Mirana as one of their solos, run a Bane +1. Probably the Mirana off lane. Maybe the Bane is roaming a bit with the Chen. But 2 very flexible laning heroes. And actually Liquid go Prophet, making me think maybe this Bat goes mid instead. Or they're just going straight greedy. Do you think they just go greedy here?
It depends on what Dog's going to pick, because Team Liquid has last pick, so they can choose to go. They could go Spectre themselves with AA and H Prophet. It's pretty good.
I guess it is setting up for a Spectre pick. Maybe that's what Dog will ban here. They expect Liquid to still go for a carry. So
yeah, it could also be Demon mid on the Bat Rider. I guess that would leave.
Yeah, I guess that then they're changing their roles again.
They did well last game. They played much better than Dog.
I mean, Demon. Sure, he had his moments that game, or maybe overextended, but.
Overall,
I just think
very solid.
I think even if Demon's more comfortable in the offlane, TC is way less comfortable on support than Demon is. So I think overall what's best for the team is keeping TC on carry and finding a way to work around that.
Yep.
It certainly seemed like TC was actually an impact player last game. When he was playing support, I feel like most games he just did nothing for this team. So, but we'll see.
Team Dog thinking a long time for this one.
Yeah. Dog pretty flexible here, but they don't have like one clear strength, and I do worry for them in the mid game. If they let Liquid get their core items and levels up, they're just so good at finding pickoffs already, and that's before they get their carry. Dog will actually ban Weaver, which they have some lockdown for in the form of the Puck, but
TC really likes Weaver, Lifestealer, and Ursa, I'd say.
He used to play a lot of Gyro and Luna, but not so much as
Gyro and Luna's not. They're not like.
They're not trending right now.
Right.
I do like the Weaver ban. You're up against Ancient Apparition. That support combination with the Weaver, very potent. Chilling Touch plus the Weaver passive, lots of deeps.
Wonder what Dog wants to go for right now. What does Liquid think Dog wants to run? I'm trying to think if there's any good early pushers that they could want to run. I've seen them run Lone Druid before. Lone Druid's like meh. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like their type of hero. I think they do best with fighter carries like Lifestealer and Spectre and whatnot. Centaur will be banned out. I would not be scared of a Centaur. If they do, Team Liquid is very good at delaying the game, I think. Like, they're very good at out-greeting their opponents. Yeah, you'll get a kill, but everyone else will get lots of farm, and they're very good at delaying until the late game until TC gets huge. So if they pick Centaur, then there's like, well, we just pick a late game, we just protect our late game and just drag the game out and go for an easy win. So
Yeah, they're running out of time here, but they do have their 36 seconds of bonus time, so Dog will think it through a bit.
5 seconds remaining.
Naga off the board, Ember off the board. A lot of just like the trending heroes du jour are gone.
Reserve
And I
time.
wonder what's even left for them at this point. I mean, there's again like a lot of the Luna good with the Chen, but they go for a more aggressive hero here in the
Team
Alchemist.
Liquid's
More
turn
early game
to
ganky
pick.
potential.
is this a mid Alchemist offlane puck?
Yeah, and maybe Mirana safe lane. I think that's the more likely choice here.
Mm-hmm. Alchemist is interesting. Like we saw EG run it yesterday, but he is not a popular hero by any means.
And the final choice, Fuzzy Wuzzy in the house.
Ursa's decent.
And they're on the dire side here.
That was one of the 3 heroes that I think he likes the most. He really likes Lifestealer and Ursa and Weaver and Lycan to some extent, but Lycan's usually banned out. But he really likes Ursa.
I like Ursa picks when you have a lot of lockdown to set him up, and they've got, I'd say, decent lockdown, mainly depending what way 2 steals and if the Prophet farms a Hex. But I'd say it could be enough.
It's alright. Their anti-push is really weak, though. Team Dog can take advantage of that with the Chen.
Yeah, what do they have? They've got Fire... Well, they've got... I'd say it's decent. Firefly... In the mid-game, it's decent. The laning stage is where it's really weak. But at that
Yeah.
point, they don't have the Prophet ult, they don't have the Ancient Apparition ult.
10 seconds remaining.
So now I'm mainly wondering... Well, Boba will be playing your bat.
5
Quake for the
seconds
Prophet.
remaining.
So is this a solo mid-Prophet, or do they just look to flip the lanes here? That'll be the main question. No items purchased as of yet, so we'll have to see. One other thing you can do as the Prophet is just give him the wards, and he just TPs into the enemy woods right away. I imagine they'll look to do that to slow down Fog's Chen, and then it's whether Fog has sentries and places them correctly. He should probably buy the sentries, but maybe he misplaces them here.
We'll see what they're up to. They also have a very good Roshan lineup, too. With Nature's Prophet and Ursa, they can do it, like, anytime. They could even do it, like, 5 or 6 minutes in if they wanted to.
Well, we'll have it on pause here, guys. It's game number 2 in a best-of-3. Liquid leading 1-0 in the set. They've already pulled the wards to Koikfa. Has not teleported yet. He actually summons Trian, so...
This is Roche, I think.
Oh, no, sorry. They didn't give them to Koikfa. I had my hero selected on Demon. And, well, we'll introduce our teams now. We have Bulba on Team Liquid playing your off-lane Batrider. Demon, the stand-in, handling the Ancient Apparition. TC on the carry roll. They'll send the Trance in, but already Dog are sending 5. And it looks like Liquid not actually Roshing, but trying to catch Dog checking the Roche. Way 2 on your Rubik, and last in line will be Koikfa. An important hero to have in these fights for his right clicks, honestly. On the side of Team Dog, heading towards the pit. Smokeleg, your Puck, Misery, your Bane will do it very quickly. Pycat, your Alk, MSS, your Mirana, and Fog, your Chen. And here they go. Liquid with the wraparound, looking to catch up Misery. If they just get off the lift, he will fall, but he's got good move speed. Not good enough, though. Walks in. There's your auto attacks, and he just melts really quickly. Tries the defensive sleep, but it's quite early. Is it enough? It's not. Liquid get the first blood. And Misery is all smiles in game, but probably not in real life.
Nice fake Roche.
Oh, a little woof.
Ooh. I did not like MS's carry the other day. That was like the Weaver that we were making fun of. I think he's much better suited to a tempo controller. So I'm actually pretty scared for Dog because Smokeleg usually plays the Mirana, but Smokeleg is playing the offlane Puck in this particular game, and yeah.
Who actually got the first blood there? It was the Ancient Apparition. Well,
The battle
he'll get
begins.
early boots, but ideally you'd probably rather that go to the solo mid in Koikfa. Who, by the way, early Null Talisman will actually go solo mid Prophet. We've seen this a bit out of Arteezy. I don't know if Liquid have ever run it, but it's an interesting way to play it. And they're going to be off the mark here with their first Sentry Ward.
I think Liquid did this in the tiebreak.
They did this in the tiebreak.
When I was casting with Gods, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we saw a Koikva Nature's Prophet mid, and it worked quite well.
Okay. It can be very effective. The nice thing with solo mid Prophet is you usually have a decent amount of mana, because you don't have to spam Treants. I mean, he's taken them early, but he may not continue to, and then that means you also get a quick level 6. So the ult can really come into play quite early on.
Yeah, the ult just wrecks people.
By the way, nice ward block here with the Sentry Ward, and they've also blocked this camp. So Chen, he has access to his big camp here for Fogged, but some of those other camps are missing. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Bulba. He doesn't have Firefly because he took Sticky Napalm for the first blood, and this will... Oh, no. Now he's got level 2. He just got level 2. MSS is actually going to take the sleep off of him.
What?
Oh, they thought they had that one for sure.
Yeah, again, I just do not like MSS in the carry role, though. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Maybe just not as comfortable in the Bane Mirana combo since he's not normally the
He
Mirana
right-clicked him though. What in the world?
player. Yeah, it's just not as comfortable. What can I say, man?
Oh jeez.
What do you want from me, Ben?
I want more from MSS.
Oh, you're not getting it right now, apparently. So Dog not off to a good start. That was a nice opening though, with Bulba taking early sticky napalm. Almost never see that, but just doesn't work out in the end. Our mid lane going very well for Quakefoot early on. And I also like when they find a way to put Quakefoot on these more like semi-carry solo mids. So heroes like your Tinker, your Prophet, very suitable for him. And with the early null,
Storm Spirit too.
yeah, it's really hard for Pycat to deal with this right-click harass. No Stout Shield, rush the bottle, and Quakefoot can just start wailing away at him. I mean, look at how hard the Prophet's hitting. Here's your smoke. First smoke of the game for Liquid. They'll make their move. They'll strike a course towards the top rune, and they will find Pycat, but Demon's in front. That's not ideal.
Pycat managed to scout him out though. He was going for the rune, or at least checking rune since it didn't spawn bottom.
What a lot of teams will do is like they'll wait up here, or they'll wait kind of like back a little bit, but
Well, looks like Misery and Fog may smoke up. They're hooked up right now.
is there
Yes,
a
no.
Dire Observer? No, nothing of the kind. They'll smoke. They'll head opposite ways. Looks like Misery wants to get a sleep on Bulba, who's already seen the Chen's been missing for a while. Well, not seen it, but hasn't seen the Chen and is playing it safe. He'll head into his own wood, start stacking. So this will be maybe a fully wasted smoke. Misery smoke won't amount to anything. And Fog, he'll try and contest this rune, but Quakefoot just happily claims it. Summon some Treants, get some value out of the rune as well. Oh, just things not going Dog's way. So some bad luck and some good play from Liquid. They'll get an Alk stuff here, perhaps. Pycat just out of rage. He'll stun himself. Are they going back in? It's not a long enough stun, I feel.
Oh, the tree blocks. Is he gonna do it?
Finds the pickoff, but they need a lot more than that. Bulba's going to join the fray. No points in Flame Break yet, but they're still chasing. They get off the Chilling Touch. Actually, they'll get the Pycat kill. Suddenly, 4 heroes mid. Speaking of Zerg, Dota, Fogged could be next on the list. Bulba, he's got one more Chilling Touch auto tech, gets the kill. Demon dropping low to the tower, but not going to fall. Demon skates away with barely any health. Liquid. They were cursed yesterday, Ben, and suddenly they're living a charmed life.
What a disaster.
That was a Quakefoot MVP right there, though. That
Yeah.
path blocking with the Treants, next level.
They were. I don't know exactly what Fogged and Pycat were doing here. Like, oh, you're here. I'm gonna start channeling my stun, and then Quakefoot just runs away.
They
So,
could have easily backed off sooner.
Yeah, or they could have waited for Fog could have waited up the hill for Quakefoot to run actually into the river, and then start channeling the stun when they're almost guaranteed to hit it.
So taking stock of everything that's happened, TC is free farming. Liquid got first blood on the Ancient Apparition. The first smoke gank of Dog failed. Basically, as you open the graphs, you expect to see a big disadvantage for Dog, and well, it's pretty big for this early on. 1250 gold lead or deficit, 750 experience deficit. So they're not off to a good start. Quakefoot's about to hit level 6. Orbs out. Will Smuggle get out? That Chilling Touch damage is just insane.
And the
Ace from
Earthshock
way
slow. The Earthshock slow is ridiculous.
That spell has like no mana cost either. Only 75, I believe. Whoops. Mid lane, they'll go in on Quakefoot here. Can they get off a sleep in time? Alk stun connects. Quakefoot sprouting himself under his own tower. Misery's dropping low. Quakefoot should probably get this kill. Nice brain sap. He's trying to fog him. Jukes through the trees. Misery hitting the creeps. Is there going to be a turnaround here? No, but he's bought time for Bulba to come in. Is it enough time? There's a send back. Misery. One more right click. Way too zaps him. The Juke secure an extra kill on the support Bane and give Rubik a little experience boost there as well.
Oh, it was close. Yeah, things are going very terribly for Dog right now, and with the way things are going, they can just take a really early roach with Ursa. Ursa can even get a Blink Dagger, and then Dog's in a lot of trouble. MSS is farming decently in the bottom lane, but not even as well as Fogged, and bottom lane's been uncontested for a really long time. Bulba, how's he doing on the Ancient stacks, looks like, or sort of regular stacks? Doing okay. Doing
Yeah,
okay
I
there.
think they missed the stack on the Rubik because he ran mid to help get that kill, so that'll slow his farm down a tiny bit, but in mid lane they'll go once again. This hate for Quakefoot. It's early game. He may just buy back. Are they going to drop the stun? Pycat waiting to the last possible second. Brain Sap's there, but Bulba has arrived, and they'll find Misery. Another dive, another death, and Dog are just looking dogged at this point. They're just overcommitting to these ganks, don't have the levels or the damage to get the kills, and Liquid are happy to punish it. Pick up some free gold, some free experience, and Quakefoot stays alive.
Yep. Alchemist has a Quelling Blade now. If he had it earlier, things wouldn't have turned out so poorly for the previous Nature's Prophet gank. So they're just one step behind. There's a really big creep sec right here, too, for Bulba. He picks up a very fortuitous regeneration, and like he's gonna have his blink at like 7 minutes maybe.
Yeah, that decision to abandon the bottom lane early, I like it a lot. It's risky to lane against the Bane, and if you get free farm to a Mirana, so what? She's not that scary. It's not a Naga. It's not an Ember or a Lycan. And the fast blink makes it more than worth it. By the way, this Satyr is just a bit drunk here. Like,
where's my home, guys?
Can't find his way back. Well, it'll make him an easy kill since he just is totally glitched out with his AI. Don't worry though, Dota 2, it's still a beta.
300 gold left until his blink dagger. Things are really bad. I'm still not exactly sure why they let Batrider in the pool. Batrider, I think, is...
Well, I'm not sure why he was ignored last game as well.
I think he was in a second ban, but second phase ban. But yeah, I don't think he should survive that far. I think he's probably the strongest offlaner at this moment. Trending.
He's just one of the very few offlaners in Vogue right now who can actually farm the woods efficiently. Like who else plays offlane who can farm right now? I mean, I guess there's like, but that also initiates. Like, sure, you've got like your prophets who can catch up later on in the woods, but
Universe Darkseer,
the other main one, but not every team likes to run him,
and not every team can play him either.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, it's not the same as before. Well,
look at this ancient apparition. He's already got a point booster, and we're 7.5 minutes in. That first blood is really paying off. This Ags might come out before he hits level 11, honestly. That's how farmed he is.
Double TP's coming out on top. They want to get a kill on TC. He is pretty darn close to his Vlads, and MSS and Misery will both abandon the bottom lane.
Prophet, no ultimate mana right now. Quick and Demon just farming together.
This is
they didn't smoke?
Super fail.
They Moonlight Shadowed, but I think they ran into vision first. It is daytime, so I was definitely spotted. And it's not going to amount to anything.
Yeah, they're just always one step behind of Liquid.
This is where Dog... I think their draft, they should play it this way, right? I mean, they've got the great initiators, the early push power of the Chen. But the problem is just that they gave up first blood, and things just haven't executed well enough from the ganks. The mid fails, the overextensions of the tower. But this is how their draft's supposed to go.
Yes.
You get level 6 on Puck, you roam with the Bane, you go for the Alk stun ganks, and you put pressure on Liquid, but the actual execution has just been lacking.
Quick Vaz's Midas. That's really quick.
And remember, he was pressured heavily mid, too.
Yeah.
They ganked him, what, 3-4 times? At least 2 or 3.
Well, Balwell with his newly acquired blink will find Flogged. Doesn't even need a blink. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, they'll use the lasso here for good measure. Just an easy kill for Mr. Bulba. And now they might kill off the Chen creep as well.
That's a 9-minute tranquil blink on an off-lane Batrider.
Yeah, and he even ran towards mid to help it for that 4-man gank mid as well. It's where you go back to the decision to abandon the offlane, and maybe if that's a much scarier carry, you don't want to do it, but...
You have to give credit to the supports, too, for stacking for him.
Yeah. And they kept it up even with all the aggression on mid. So Liquid is looking very poised here. And Dog, they need a recovery. Pycat, he has the stun. His ult's about to end, but there's just 5 Liquid
there's
heroes.
a Sentry Ward. Pycat, is he going to run into it?
So far, he's okay. Just out of range. The invis about halfway done, but can Dog fight 5v5 right now?
Is he going to try and get a courier kill?
I don't think with phase boots. Yeah, maybe he can kill it. Is it worth a suicide here? Leave the red hoof alone.
Well, Liquid will know something sketchy is going on. No back off.
Can they just Rosh right now? Puck, no blink. Your Chen, no level 6. Only has 1 creep at the current moment. Bane, no level 6. I don't think Dog can fight Rosh.
Nope.
There's like no way.
Trini's already there. There's just no way. Batrider there too. Lasso cooling down in 10 seconds. Maybe if they like go in with Moonlight Shadow without Sentry from Liquid, like that's about it. But that's a very optimistic situation.
Liquid, they've quietly accrued a decent lead here. 2,000 gold, 2,500 experience, but this is going to make it a much bigger lead. And what's worse for Dog is they haven't really taken much territory during this time. They got the tier 1 top, but that is it. Aegis now on to TC. Blink Dagger check about 1,500 gold away, but not too far off. And it's not like they lack for late game here. Sure, their hard carries in Ursa, not the strongest late game hero necessarily, but they've got Prophet to back them up, a really farmed Ancient Apparition, who's almost got the second component of his Ags. Liquid are, to put it mildly, in really good position right now.
Yeah.
The pressure's on Dog to make plays.
If Quickfoot gets like an early Orchid, the Podum's going to die a lot. The Puck's going to die a lot. Things are just going very, very terribly for Team Dog. They need to start catching Liquid by surprise, not dying to the Blink Lasso.
How do they catch them by surprise, though? Misery's not even level 6?
Try and smoke. I think just Dream Coil initiates.
Okay.
Liquid's always able to keep track of where Team Dog is. That's the big problem right now. With Observer Wards, with just smart scouting and good map awareness, they aren't usually caught off guard.
Speaking of smokes, Liquid's used one of their own, and they'll make their move through the river. MSS in the front lines. Fogged is positioned for the sendback. Ideally, they want to go in the Chen here, and the sendback does come off, but it's too late. The Ancient Apparition ult, Prophet ult combine, and they just assassinate him. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. And now, Fogged loses both of his creep, and the tier 1 falls bottom. Yesterday, it felt like everything was crumbling for Liquid, and today, it feels like everything is crumbling for Dog.
Still a Mid Alchemist. I'm also not sold on it.
And if they go on to win this, I just gotta say, it seems like Demon is better at beating his former teams than anyone else. He's not just the EG Slayer if he wins this, he's just the former team Slayer. Doesn't quite have the ring to it, though. But they haven't won it just yet. Dog do have some good pickoff potential. Like you said, they need to find the pickoffs, but Puck has gone back for the treads. That'll delay the Blink Dagger. Alquent early Medallion. Not a bad item, but does delay a blink of his own. Still, though, he's hasted up and he's on the move. Meanwhile, mid, Liquid looking to make their move. There will be a teleport rotation. And now Pycat.
Oh, they're going to run into a
They've
Sentry
been
Ward.
spotted. Observer, sentries are here. Alk is going to stun himself till they look to reinitiate onto him. He is an ult form. Probably not the easiest here to go on, but TC says, hey, let's do it, boys. Here comes the H Apparition ult. Connects on a few. Now the arrow to fly, but TC has Aegis, and he's very tanky. Even in the Acid Spray, still sitting at 2 armor. Fogged on the run. Smoke League also on the run. TC, the bear can't quite get enraged. Sprout gets fogged. Koikfa can't get it off. Still, they take the tier 1. They don't lose anyone, not even in Aegis.
Bane's in a really
And now Boba has
position.
Lasso. Boba has Lasso now. But I think Liquid are they content with this? Some of them are leaving mid. They need to back off. They stick around too long. TC's now caught out of position. He'll pop the Aegis for basically nothing. Fiend's Grip was stolen, though. Wait, 2. Could make a big play here. They get 1. This could be 2 that fall. Yamurana held in position by the Cold Feet. Can they get off the grip on this Chen? If they get in a clap, he's dead. Who needs the grip? They'll use it on Misery instead. Who got sent back? He's actually going to live at the fountain. Barely. Dropping low. Will he tick down to the Chilling Touch? Or the Ice Blast? Not quite. But in the end, they do lose the Aegis, but they get 2 more kills. They take the tier 1, and things are looking good for Team Liquid.
That is the Blink Dagger up on the Ursa Bear. He can pretty much kill most people on Dog. Maybe not the Puck, but I think even the Podum will die at this point. So, scary, scary.
Ursa likes those frags. If he was a Counter-Strike player, he'd be a mad fragger.
Pycat's so poor, though. Like, Phase, Bottle, and Medallion, 14 minutes in, that's nothing compared to what Koikva has.
You just go back to the matchup, and Prophet is quite good against a hero like Alk, especially when he doesn't get Stout Shield.
Yeah.
He just gets harassed so hard with
Maybe
that.
he expected to be versus Bat. I'm not exactly sure why he didn't get a Stout Shield.
Yeah. I guess versus the Bat, you'd rather... He never got a Magic Stick, though, so... I mean, I guess he could have been saving his gold for one, but... Yeah, it did slow him down a bit. Ultimately, ranged hero versus melee. Alk not going to have the best time, but... The one thing we've seen out of the Chinese teams a lot in the past is when they run the solo mid Alk. Like, a great example is Vici Gaming always do this with Super. They constantly stack the Ancients. You can even drop Acid Spray. I think it's from, like, right over here, and it'll aggro them. So you can stack them without really having to go too far out of your way. But we have not seen that this game at all from Pycat.
Yeah, Liquid, the ones that have been doing a ton of stacking. And now look at Liquid's, or Dog's positioning. They're scared even behind their T2s, always wary of the Blink Bat Rider. And they're getting some farm up on top. Misery and Pycat smoked up, looking for somebody. Are they going to find Koikva?
This will be a very big kill. Koikva about to be caught out. Can he self-sprout and TP out in time? He heads to the left. He's actually spotted the gank, and they just totally lost. Meanwhile, in the woods, they found Fog. They pull him out of the H-Pepper Ice Blast, but onto the high ground, which means Fog will fall. And Prophet even secures that kill. GG! Team Dog are your last team knocked out of the Starladder playoff bracket. The only 2 teams standing are Liquid and EG.
All of our predictions are wrong.
Liquid, they've got a shot. They'll be trailing EG 0-1, but Demon will have a second go at his former team. Can the EG Slayer do it again? Dang. It'll be tough.
I mean, Liquid's looking real good today, though. Well, Dog didn't play that well either, or they didn't play that well, but, I mean, Liquid's solid draft, solid play, solid movement, solid early game. I like him.
So, in the scope of Liquid, what does this mean? Jimmy versus Snake King. Jimmy, a little more powerful.
Jimmy's
on
a lot more
stand-in.
flexible.
Much more
personally.
flexible. Maybe
They
that's
need
the
to
right
not
word.
worry about that and focus on EG right now,
Yeah.
though. They should
Yeah.
not be thinking about, like, oh, do we want to add Demon? They haven't proven anything yet. They haven't actually beaten
Yeah.
one of the top teams, like your EG. I
True,
mean, and
very true.
any of the top European teams as of late. They had that one win versus Cloud9.
They're getting there though.
They're
Yeah,
getting
potential.
a little better.
Potential. Yeah.
But
So-
they need to focus.
Yeah,
on the
up
prize.
next, there's one series left. Liquid versus EG. Winner of that best of 3 moves on to the finals of Starladder. They'll be going to Kiev, but that winner's bracket advantage, Liquid will have to win 2 games. EG, they only have to win 1. With that said, Ben, you're the ex-pro player. What is that mentality like going into a series where you know you have to win 2 in a row, and if the other team wins 1, it's all over?
I think it could be a lot worse for Liquid. Firstly, they could, because they're not really feeling that much pressure right now. Yeah, if they lose, they just have a stand-in, right? And the odds were stacked against them anyways because all they had to lose 1 game in best of 3. So I think their mentality is a lot more healthy than it could be, and they just came fresh off a 2-0 victory over Dog, who were the 63-37 favorites in
Yeah.
this. So they're coming off a high right now. I think their morale will be good going in, and it's not like they don't have anything to lose. Obviously, a trip to Kiev for the Starladder LAN finals is really important, but at the same time, they're not expected to win.
The other thing is, sure, TI invites are probably coming soon. Valve just announced the dates are in the middle of July, so you got to figure invites will be sooner than last year, or at least as soon.
Mhm.
And they started coming out, I think, like April last year. But hey, no invites have been released yet. If Liquid convincingly beat EG, they go to Kiev, they have a good performance there. Maybe Liquid actually is in the discussion for an invite. I know it sounds ridiculous right now, but if they have a good run,
There's potential to tip the scales here.
yeah, I mean, Valve does look at, it seems like historically, judging off their previous invites, they do look at, like, some historical data, but they also look at your current performance. Like, you could have the best 5 players from 6 years ago, but if they're not winning games, Valve's not going to invite you.
Very
So-
true.
Well, anyway, I mean, that's the other consideration, is this.
Yeah.
This is probably their last big chance to have a shot at an invite, if there is a shot.
It's a
All
tough
right.
road though. If they lose 1 game, they're out, and that's
The good news is they can just have a one-game mentality. They can't be like, oh, we can lose game 1 and come back. There's no second chances here.
Yeah.
So,
So it's
One
all
game
in.
at a time.
Yeah, 1 game at a time. That first game, you absolutely have to win. Elimination is on the line here for Liquid. Every step of the way, EG have that little buffer. We'll have a good break here before the next series is scheduled to start. If I'm not mistaken, about 45 minutes until the next series is supposed to get underway. Perhaps we'll start a little bit early. Yesterday, Starladder wanted to just get everything done, keep that momentum going. So we'll go into a quick break, and we'll possibly be coming back for a little more post-series analysis before we get into our final series of the day.
I just want to mention, sorry to
No, go
not
at it.
give you the smooth exit, but it sounds like Liquid wants to start the match early. I don't know if they'll be able to, but
Okay.
just something to keep in mind. You may want to stick near your computers because if they can start early, I know it's late in Kiev. Starladder might prefer that, but EG has not responded yet. So
Yeah, and the official post time is 35 minutes from now, 4:30 Pacific. I'm not sure what that is, CET off the top of my head, but about 40 minutes from now is when the series will start at the very latest, unless some sort of unknown delay pops up. So we'll have a quick break and then come back a little later on, guys.